Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So in this video, I'm just having a quick look at the Forte blockchain gaming platform, which is still sort of pretty early. I've not seen sort of vast amounts of projects on there, but there are two that I wanted to look at, and particularly sort of look at how these things sort of interact. So one of the ones, the first one actually to go live, as far as I could see, was Congregate.io, which is a sort of blockchain version of the Congregate sort of it used to be called it used to be a Flash gaming sort of platform. Now I guess don't call it Flash anymore, but Congregate, sort of a web browsing game platform, and now they're doing some NFTs. So there's not been particularly big interest in this, I don't think. They announced it a few months ago, and we can see here for quite a lot of these, there's quite a lot of these NFTs remaining. Stabby seems to be quite popular, only 5 remaining, so $50 for a Stabby. Also counts as a premium pass. So basically, they're just sort of testing this sort of stuff out with some of these very basic NFT game characters. I don't think they've really pushed it very much. And the prices of these are sort of fairly expensive, I guess. For things that you're not really getting any different to what you otherwise get in a game. I think that's probably the issue. Anyway, so we can see here, it doesn't look like I'm logged in. This is sort of, I guess, a sort of fairly early website sort of interface type thing. Anyway, I am logged in. We can see here my balance here of these coins. So if I wanted to buy Stabby, I need 500 coins, K coins, and we can see that's going to cost me $50. So $1, 10 coins. So these are actually blockchain tokens, and what's happened here is you can see that I clicked there, and it took me to the main Forte account. So it's sort of interesting because Forte is quite a managed, or is a very managed blockchain account, blockchain system. And basically, if you sign up, if I signed up for Congregate and wanted to buy items in Congregate, I can't do that at the moment, at least within the Congregate web interface. It has to take me to the Forte sort of wallet interface, which acts as like a central sort of anchor hub for it all. Now, whether over time they can sort of integrate that into the individual game client or the game account, web account, that would sort of make sense. But equally, I can see that it also sort of makes sense to Forte as a platform to have to use this sort of wallet as a sort of discovery point as well. So we can see here there are supposedly like loads of games, or at least a dozen games live on Forte, but I can't work out what they are. So we can see here this is my my wallet. So I've got no Forte. So Forte have their own cryptocurrency called Forte, and then each game has its own sort of currency as well. So again, that sort of goes against sort of where we are with many blockchain things, which is sort of the ability for openness, or the ability to swap between anything. So we can think if I was running on Ethereum, and we could have, I obviously have Ether as a currency. I also have sort of Uniswap, have Compound token. I have Sand from the Sandbox, and if I want to sort of swap Sand to Uni, I can sort of do that through the Uniswap exchange, and it'll sort of route it all for me. This is this is not open in that way, and basically you basically either directly buy the tokens for the game you want through using a credit card, or you do it through your Forte balance. So Forte is sort of the underlying sort of token that can be converted into these other ones, but you can't convert, as far as I can understand it, Congregate coins back into Forte balance. Now, with all these things, it may change over time, so I'm not saying that's what it's going to be like in a year's time, but this is just what we are at the moment. Also interesting at the moment, I said you could use this as a discovery mechanic. Can't do that at the moment. If it goes add new game, it says you have to follow the prompts from within a Forte powered game to link it into the exchange. So again, this is not a multi-directional sort of system, which makes me think actually probably there are not other games currently live using Forte. Otherwise, why wouldn't they link them in here? But again, it could be wrong on that. So we can see here. So there's a Congregate one. This is Proxy. This is Will Wright's game that he's just started out. He's done an NFT sale about 6 weeks ago. Sort of user-generated content world, pretty interesting. Very Will Wright. But here, for the purposes of this video, if I wanted to buy some more Congregate coins, I'd have to go into here. So I can, there's this kind of weird estimator, I don't really know about that. It tells you a bit about the game and the age rating. So we can see here, it's a bit difficult to see. So So Forte Exchange Services, what I'm doing here is offered by Providence Technologies on technology built by Forte. PT, this Providence thing is a FinSec registered institution. So it's something like Forte, and similarly something like Mythical Games with Blancos is, these are very sort of securely managed systems that sort of one of the points of them is they sort of provide developers with lots of security when it comes to sort of regulation and tax and all that sort of stuff, which for the blockchain is a bit of a minefield. So not only do they provide decent technical foundations for developers to build on top of, they also sort of deal with a lot of these sort of weird legal issues or sort of regulation that we're not quite sure about. Obviously, that makes it a bit clunky and very unblockchain-like to some degree. So as we go through here, if I want to buy some of these coins, so it looks like I can sell coins back out. I don't have any, obviously. So it'd be interesting. I probably should do that and just sell them out and see, because maybe actually I can change these back into the Forte coins. Maybe I'm doing them a disservice because they are just cryptocurrency. But obviously you're doing this you're not doing this on a DEX sort of thing. You're doing this on maybe there's a DEX underpinning it, I suppose. I don't know. If I'm buying anyway, so I can buy my Forte balance, which I know I haven't got anything of, so that's not going to work. Or I can buy with a credit card. So at the moment, again, I have this weird thing, only accepting Visa cards. Don't know what's wrong with MasterCard. I guess that's probably something to do with fees. Visa seems to be a bit more crypto friendly. Famously, it bought the CryptoPunk NFT. So you can see here, minimum transactions $5, and if I wanted to get that stabby coin, stabby knife, $50, and estimate how many I would get, 500 coins. And I'm not going to go through and do that now, but that's sort of the way you do it. You have to fill in your credit card details. Again, that's a bit annoying. Over time, I'm sure that will change. I've got other crypto that I might want to sort of spend rather than fiddling around with a credit card. It's sort of some people don't want to spend their crypto, obviously, and much happy to just stick stuff on credit cards. Credit cards are sort of easier; everyone's used to it, but at the moment, this is I would say a slightly clunky system, and obviously it's the same thing here. If I want to buy, I have a balance of 1 gallium, which is the other interesting. Actually, let's go through this. So if I was going to buy here some gallium, so here it's $10 for 1,000 gallium. So the developer can sort of set the conversion rate, whereas here it's going to be $10 for 100. So you can see there's a factor of 10. You get 10 more. You don't get 10 more because they're not worth any more, sort of thing. But there is that sort of ability for developers to sort of set how the dollar rate sort of goes through into their sort of cryptocurrency or their made-up currency, depending on how you want to think about it. So anyway, so there we go with Forte. I do think it's very interesting. They've raised a ton of money, $185 million. They are, I think, quite actively reaching out to developers, and they are, like lots of blockchains, they are sort of giving dev funds for developers to integrate their system. And I think it is, in the long term, it will be interesting. Or in the short term, sorry, I should say, it'll be interesting to see how this plays off, because this is very different to what we see in the sort of open blockchain world, where it's just sort of like, choose a blockchain, deploy on it, don't ask anyone's permission, just sort of get on with it. But do it your own way, whereas this is very much do it Forte's way, and it's all permissioned, and you have to sort of go through their system, and some will be better for some games, some better for other audiences, that sort of thing. I don't think there's one size fits all at the moment. In the long term, I guess I think we're moving towards more decentralization rather than less, but it's hard to judge how quickly that will happen. So I'm definitely keeping my eye on what people like Forte are doing, because it is very different to what we've seen really in the market so far. But obviously it will appeal to a different set of developers than maybe something like deploying on Flow or Solana or Polygon or whatever the sort of current blockchain of de jure is. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Blockchain Gaming World, where we spend our time digging around in the guts of this sort of stuff, trying to make sense of it all. Hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe to the channel if you do. But thanks for watching, and see you again soon.